asie emfemfiri eye yewra Same Crab said the midi kan eka no wono ena eye the former second vice chairperson edema eye the New Patriotic Party. Now what in semia betuja a wotremu say NPP amanyoko no say yeka enipa bonesem etutrasem pa dia na NPP amanyoko no. Now mama a brief breakdown enti somewhere 2016 2017 thereabout no ena yetetete hu bi ni nsem bi a ekoso ewo NPP amanyoko no emu na yedidimu sa nche ena beto oja say the second vice chair yewra Same Crab den ena afenso yewra Paula Foko ena yewra kwabene Japan ade asabe ya suspend omo ade free NPP amanyoko no emu na nsem we ba ye no na che say enti a yete ye no ene say amanfo binom ena wo mo de petition ekoma chairperson a woda NPP amanyoko na no ene National Executive Board ne say nipa miensa we no sebe wo mo niema bia na se wo mo da suban bi adi wa amanyoko ni mo a entwa ye enti e wo se yetimi agi wo mo dibra wo mo kra ne yeden edifi omo nsem na eno na yera Same Crab sa asem anyina si ye na abusia yera Paula Foko wo shedante se wo chechemu bebre kwamna Japan so ye shedante se wo chemu bebre na afen ansa ne beka ne se abrewa eyipoma kwamu a yera Same Crab aba abonten aba betwemu wachemu se sa ade na esi ye ayema ye suspended wo mo edi free NPP amanyoko ni mu no ene wenya bra wo ba bekirem esan se no wako interview mienu nko a wa kirekire odi kan kire ba akomu ewo eye TV3 so ene wa sa akokirem bi mu ewo bolare show eso na odi nsem waka na wo pache cool insem ne sem wo share screens ne so a o se NPP internal waggling and Yabasia or say what happened to us was a coup d'etat. Same Crab, former second vice chair, NPP. And what this and same way echo to Jamie. Sure some of will be wondering the whole party and say what happened in NPP no was a coup. Now then some of them say a Drew Brebino NPP for your margin said they want to take him off. Free ho. Womu take it ne position womu je edifring in sem and nipa ba ko ani din abemu the former president Nana Akuffo Addo and wo chem say Nana Akuffo Addo any amanfo bi eka ho and womu tena se ebo opo say this is what they want to do but it was a strategy omo fa ya wonu hu ni say it was more like a coup now me makasa ni ye bebre I would explain deeper but yenhwe video way of Yera Same Crab yeba yebeto aso.
You know, I was inducted into this party by my mother. Okay, I went through it, and I am a bona fide member of this party. Nobody has more rights than anyone in this party. So nobody can kick me out of the party. What happened was a coup d'etat. That's exactly the way I described it at that time. It was very scary. Scary in the sense that there were so many Ghanaians, prominent journalists, who never saw anything wrong with that. And I thought that, wow, this is an indication that even this, our fourth republic, we need to really be very careful. Because if somebody goes out there, an adventurist, goes out there and does something, I cannot be sure of the press. I'm not attacking you guys, but I cannot be sure. Because you can have certain prominent people going out there because of one thing or the other, not being true to the values of this country, could go out there and support. It has nothing to do with me. I am a member of the party. If you've succeeded in doing that, they also took invisible forces and things to try and do those things. That's okay. I'm relaxed. I'm still a member of the party. You can't remove me as a member of the party. And as a member of the party, I have obligations towards the party. So I will go out there and exercise those responsibilities. And that is exactly what I did.
Is it also the case that the factions within the party led to some of these things that took place, in that there was the belief then that Afoko was aligned, the Afoko then chairman was aligned to President Kufuor, and then, you know, the movement at the time was in support of former President Nana Akuffo Addo. Did that play any role?
But everybody knew that Nana Akuffo Addo would win the primaries, but it's still elected, the party still elected Afoko. What happened was not by the party. And that's another point that you need to understand, because the party elected us. So if you thought that you could, in any case, they tried going for the 40% signature. They didn't get it. If you remember, go back into the archives. They went all around, they held meetings at Central Region, Bronga Hafo, they couldn't get the 40%. So the party was saying no. So then it was a coup d'etat. You get my point? So the party didn't do anything.
The factions didn't play any role?
As for factions, I don't want to even go there. I don't have a problem with factions necessarily because it's just people grouping around ideologies, which can be healthy. It's when it becomes a cult that people then do all kinds of silly things. So I think factions can be healthy because we are a center-right party. We have an ideology. People can have people to the right of the ideology, to the left of the right, and they have to group and form associations, even within the party. That's fine. That's not my problem. Whatever it is, it's speculative at this time. I haven't done any research to really know that those were the reasons. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to assume something that I don't know.
But I mean, as an executive at that time, did you get the impression that those factions were creating problems?
No, I don't know. I didn't really care. Because you couldn't really place me. Difficult to place me because before I became the vice chairman, I was a Greater Accra Regional chairman, and I can challenge you. Yeah. You ask any of the aspirants at that time if I did not give them equal access in Greater Accra. And I can also ask any of the constituency executives if I, Sammy Crab, as the Greater Accra Regional chairman, ever picked up a phone to call anyone to support one person or the other. So that's the way I am.
But the moment you spoke in support of Kwabena Agyapong and Afoko, who, the party was already trying to...
Which party?
The party had suspended.
Which party?
But they were suspended. I'm outside of the party. I can't name names because based on party account, they had gone through the process and suspended Kwabena Agyapong and Chairman Paul Afoko. So the question I'm asking is: the moment you spoke in support of Kwabena Agyapong,
against what had been done,
yes.
not for Kwabena Agyapong or Afoko. Get it right. I spoke against the procedure that they had used to remove elected officers.
Which is speaking for them, over their suspension?
No, not personalities. Okay. I spoke against the process.
All right.
And I have been, you see, maybe you don't know me. If you had followed my political journey, you would have known. I can mention people. Addo Asafo, when she was coming into politics, they wanted to block her and stop her. I rose and spoke and made sure that she went for the primaries, challenging Okwe. So Okwe and I, up to now, we're not on good terms because I did it. You can ask IC Kwe, Archibald Kobna. Archibald Kobna was an assemblyman around Kokomemle. He wanted to contest this institution, IC Kwe. IC Kwe said over in Zebo because he even thought that by contesting him, it was even an affront. I refused. I made sure that he contested him. I can also tell you Abankwa Eba, who became the treasurer. Abankwa Eba was being stopped from running at Clote Koli. In fact, he took the party to court. I was there when Mark Menu called me. I went there, law committee were sitting and they said Abankwa Eba had taken the party to court. If he didn't, they don't allow him to even run. Okay? I stood there. I spoke to them. They should allow him to run. Finally, they allowed him to run. Then he took the case from court. Abankwa Eba. I can just go on and mention many people. Mohammed Ajesoa, who became the mayor. They said they wouldn't allow him to run. He was a small boy. Where was he from? All that kind of thing. I stood behind and made sure. You can go to Lejokuku. So that's who I am. Even Boache Jaku. When he went against Nana Akuffo Addo, contested Nana Akuffo Addo, we were in Adan one day, and they said they wouldn't allow him to speak. I stood there, and Emile coming on the platform, physically holding charge. I said, he's going to speak. Right. So I am like that.
So this is the question I'm asking.
I'm like that.
By pointing that out, this is the question I'm asking. Do you think you were collateral damage in that?
I think that some people had an agenda. They wanted to get something done, and I was in their way. So they did what they thought they needed to do to get the thing done. And I also thought it was a duty and a responsibility that even though the thing didn't concern me, I had to speak against what I thought was going to create problems which will culminate in things that are happening to us now. So I spoke against it. I have no regrets. If anybody tries to go after any position, any use unfair means to go after someone, I don't care what the person has done. I didn't want to get into personalities, if you remember. So I said, I don't know what they've done. Maybe they slept somebody's mother, somebody. I don't know. I don't care. What I care about is, are you applying the internal procedural justice system has all been agreed by everyone. That's all I care about as an officer, because that's what I was sworn in to protect. If I protect that, then people will have fair hearings. You know, they will be going through. You can't pick somebody, do a coup d'etat, remove that person, because I didn't.
Abusia eni ayekote ye no eye yera